My name is Saurabh, and as I've introduced myself, I'm working with Intel nowadays. And I'm working mostly in OpenStack, so that's where my Python connection comes in. So basically, today I'm going to give a lightning talk on using decorators, Python decorators to do to register function callbacks. The idea is that I'll be building on it will be a 5-10 minutes talk. So I'll be building on A, what are callbacks, B, what are decorators, and then managing the two of them together, right? So without much ado, I'll just get into the code directly. Okay. So there is, yeah. I think I'm not taking my mouse. This is a Proteus session. I just try to change it from here. Better?
Saurabh, you can change the background to white. Right click, go to the.
Yeah. Even mouse is not getting it.
Colors.
Excellent, thank you so much.
Use system colors.
Okay.
Excellent, thank you so much.
I don't think you need data. Can you work with this? Because my mouse is not getting it. It's good enough, right? At the back, are you having problems or should I increase the font size a little more? Huh?
It's okay.
Readable, right? Cool. Sometimes there's some DNS because I'm not connected to the network. So. Okay. So, small intro. The idea is that when we are talking about function callbacks, we are just talking about functions which can be, stored in variables or in, dictionaries, and they can be called later depending on events. Right. So in this case, we have function 1, function 2, and you have a callbacks dictionary which maps the function 1 key to function 1, function 2 key to function 2. Now this dictionary can be stored, and you can pass it to functions and do stuff with it, and when the right time comes, you just call it via this. So you just do a callback dictionary, access function 1, so that will give you the function 1 function reference, and that you pass an argument 1. Similarly, you pass an argument 2 to the other one, right? So the idea is simple. You store functions and you access them and you use them as and when required, right? So you don't need to remember the function names and all. So actually, suppose you are going to do, suppose the user gives you an input, say call function 1, and it has to be dynamically chosen. So it can directly be passed on to the dictionary and it can be used this way. Okay, so if I run this thing right now, we'd be calling function 1 with argument 1 and function 2 with argument 2, right? So the idea is that if at all I do it this way, right? Let's start arguing of 1. Okay, if I do all that 105 1. Right, so I am calling function 1 with argument 1 and calling function 2 with argument 1. So the idea is that depending on the user input, you can choose the function to call. Okay, so this is just a simple way of looking at callbacks, right? So this is the first part that we are going to work with, and then the idea is that the next step in callbacks can be, suppose you have a class, right? And that class is being called, that class is supposed to serve HTML requests. right? So the idea is that if a user types, slash page 1, then you should see the contents of, you should return a string containing page 1, right? So this is just a minimalist example of expressing that. So in this case, what we do is, you have your main class. Don't look at the class at the top, just go down and look at the app.register part. So what we are doing here is, you are registering two functions. You are saying app.register slash against main page function and next page against next page function. This is just a fancy wrapper over what we did in the previous one, right? So if you look at the app class, right, so it is having a function called register, which is just taking a function name and mapping it to the function reference, right? So simple stuff. And then when you call app.registered slash, so at that point goes to call registered, and then it does gets the function gets the function by looking up the hash, and then it calls the function. So we could have done it in a simple way also, as we saw previously, but this is just laying the background for what is going to come next, right? So what we looked at was that you have callbacks. You can call them in a simple way, or you can have a class which has a register function, and in the register function you can pass what the string against the key against which you want to register the function, and the function reference in itself, right? And when the right time comes, you call this, you call this. So nothing magical here, simple stuff. Now the idea is that you can do it in a much cleaner way also. Sort of like you can do it this way also. Right now we don't have any calls here registering. We are not registering anything. We are just doing. We wrote the function and we said that register it with slash. We wrote this function. We said register it with next page. And when we do this, when we call register, it automatically does the right thing. Okay. So I'll just compare both the functions, so it will be easier to understand. Callback to callback. So if you see out here, we have to call app.register. Here at the first part, app.register again, right? And out here we could tie the registration point with the function itself. So the idea is that you don't need to have 10 functions written, and then you don't need to remember which key is for what, and then register it, right? So what you can do is that during the function definition itself, you can have a decorator which gives you the right point to work with. I mean, you can just say this function should be called when slash appears. So much more intuitive to understand, right? So my main aim of this talk is to explain how this thing works, right? When you do app.registered and next page, what actually happens. So if you during the previous talk, Anand had mentioned about decorators, right? The decorators are just functions which wrap on other functions, and those functions are then used for doing additional functionalities. So if you look at this, a simple introduction to decorators would be, you have a function, this in the function, and then you wrap it over a decorator, right? So decorator, there are no keywords right now, nothing. It's just plain old Python, right? So you're just taking a decorator, you're passing in a function, right? And then you have another function inside the function, a nested function, which is being returned here, right? So what you are saying is, take this function argument, pass it to this guy, and then return a wrapper, right? So this wrapper is doing nothing but it is adding a pre and a post statement. So this could be useful. Say you want to have a situation wherein every function call that is made is being logged. You want to take some corrective action. If you want to do something, as and when functions are being called, do something. Do a pre action and do a post action, right? So that is where decorators will come in handy. Now this is so central to the usage of decorators in Python that it has been converted into a keyword. So if you come here, this will be like this, @decorator, right? So the idea is that anything that you put after @ is equivalent to doing, this is equivalent to doing func equal to decorator func. Alright? So no magic here. I think it would be just top level syntactic sugar which is being used so as to make it clear for the programmer. Right? Now take this and run with it, and take that callbacks thing. If you take both of them together, you will get this guy. Callback. Right? So if you look at this, what happens when you do a app.register slash. App is an object that has already been created, right? So nothing new here. So you are doing app.register slash, right? So what is being done here is, what we are actually doing is, pay attention to the comments here. Having app.register slash over main page function leads to, we are doing this main page function, then app.register slash whatever is here. I have to move around a bit. So the idea is that when you are doing app.register here, what it is doing, it is taking this chunk of code, okay, and it is calling it. It's not, it has not yet passed the function. Look at it as a simple function call that has been made. So it has called that function. It is calling register, and what is register returning? Func wrapper, right? So it returns func wrapper. It has done this, right? Func wrapper has been returned, which is calling the main page function. If you look, this func wrapper is calling the main page function, right? So what is func wrapper doing? It is just taking a map, and it is having a key and a value. Your key is your function name, and your value is your function reference. Are you together? Are you with me at this point? Okay, I can explain this once again. Simple stuff. You have a decorator. A decorator is when a decorator is called with an argument, an actual function call is done. Once that function call returns something, on that you are calling the function over which the decorator is returned. So your app.register slash that returns func wrapper. On that func wrapper we are calling main page function. Okay, so that main page function is being passed to func wrapper, the argument func. And because of the nature of closures here, the idea is that whenever you are defining a function, okay, at that point if you pass an argument to it, in this case slash, that argument would be visible in the entire scope of the function, right? So when we return func wrapper, the name part was hard coded as slash because we had app.register slash, right? So in this case what happened was that a map was created and an entry was made in a map saying that when you have slash, call this function. Exactly similar to our previous way of looking at it, the only difference is that we are using decorators here, right? So if at all we do something here, and similarly we have next page here, right? So this example, if we run it now, it will say this is the main page, this is the next page, right? Why? Because we called registered against slash and next page. So actually we are just calling the call registered, and these things were decided during the function definition itself, right? So this has been taken as a page out of the Flask web framework. I mean, the guys who have worked with Flask would be familiar that you have instead of app.register, people normally do a app.route. They just do app.route slash, right? So they are saying that if at all, when the web server runs and a request is made, and then they say if at all the user asks for the slash part, I mean, is asked for the root document, serve them with this function, right? So basically that's about it. A way of looking at decorators to do different things. I mean, when I first looked at decorators, I thought, okay, you have a function wrapper, you take a function, you have a pre and you have a post functionality, and then you use it, that's it, right? But in this case, we are not doing any pre or post. We are just taking the function, putting it in a hash and returning the same function, right? So this is how we use decorators when to call register callbacks. Any questions? Yeah.
Do you have to use to return func wrapper? Can you just?
I'm going to come to that. See, the idea is that I had actually saved this up. If you see, there is a decorator. Could you repeat your question? I just want to know if it's relevant to this thing that I'm going to do.
You put the self.dictionary assignment inside func wrapper.
Yeah.
But you just need to do that once, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So you could just define func wrapper, but just return func itself, right?
So you are saying that I could do. In this case, are you calling something like this? I mean, I just register it once that way.
This wasn't the.
This is not the one with the decorator. Should I move to the one with the decorator?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're returning func wrapper right over there.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, isn't it the same if you just return func?
I don't think so. See, the idea is this. If at all I return func here, right? Is that what you are trying to say? Let's see what happens now. if we do that, the problem is that, see the idea is that it is, okay, the first of all func is not present at this point because in the register function's name scope there is no func variable, right? So what you said was that I want to register slash against this function, that is what you want, right? So first of all you have to say what you want to register, that is slash, which goes into name, okay? Then you say which is the function that will be used to register that, then you pass the second function, right? And then you return your func wrapper actually. So what we are doing right now is, this is equivalent of doing, this is equivalent of saying main page func equal to app.register slash, this will return func wrapper, right? And then you are calling a function returned by a function, then you call main page func. Clear? So if you didn't have this guy, if at all you had done this thing directly, right? If you had done this thing directly, you wouldn't have a ability to pass any differentiating characters, right? Every time you would be wrapping only main page func. That is the problem, right? So decorators with arguments are used when you want to do certain things with the same function. Suppose a clearer example would have been, suppose I am passing here info and I am passing here debug, right? And depending on the name that is passed to the function, I could have said that if name is info, log this, if name is debug, log a little more, right? That would have been, a much better example, but the idea is that this has been taken out of a leaf of Flask, so I just wanted this was a little more intuitive to me. Okay? So while we are on the topic, the problem is that when you're using a decorator, can anyone tell me what would be the output of this function? I have commented that wraps part out. Just tell me what is the output of this function.
Decorator called func.
Yeah, function name is what? What will we see here?
Second one after the func.
No, what will be the function name? Would it be func or would it be wrapper around func?
No, that will be wrapper.
So if we execute this right now, it will be function name is wrapper around func. But the problem is that we don't want any side effects to occur, right? You want that, okay, I have used func and I have used a decorator over func. So my properties of func should not change. They should, my func name, func document, because if my func name is wrapper over func, then my func doc string also changes. All those things change, right? So that is where wraps comes in. Okay, so I commented that line out, that it wraps function. So func tools module has this functionality of a wrap, and I think the main point of doing that is to preserve your function that is wrapped, preserve the functionalities in terms of name, doc, those things should not be changed. So if I add this thing here, right, and if I run this, if I see function name is func instead of the wrapper around func, right? So that's the idea. So in a clean way, you should always be doing this. If you want a wrapper, then you use a decorator, but the function that you are going to wrap, wrap it over wraps. Okay? Cool. Questions? Alright.
So there should not be any other line, any other comment or anything in between the decorator and def func.
No, that's not right. You can always do say, you could have this
Is
thing.
it like they should be in sequence one after the other?
No. Yeah, obviously, yeah, this should be like this.
No,
But
down.
where?
Come down.
After
Yeah, the next line, yeah.
Yeah.
This line and the next line.
This one.
Yeah, in between these two lines.
No, because see the idea is that whenever Python is going to execute your code, it's going to look at the decorator and it's going to substitute something, right? So that's the idea. Right?
So there shouldn't be anything in between those two lines so that
I
you
know
guys
what
any
Right.
problem.
I'll try it out and let you know, but I have not kept anything in between though.
You can have one more decorator also next to that.
Yeah, you can do that chaining also. So the idea is that suppose you want, can I take that time to do that? I mean, if at all we have time, because my 10 minutes are over. I'll try that out. Okay, cool. Let's do that.
What's the question, sir?
He said that can there be a line between the decorator and the function itself? So
anything,
to which,
any line.
Yeah,
It
anything,
could be a
anything.
particular correct Python. Maybe it's simple comment also.
Comment is fine. Comment gets removed. Okay.
that's fair enough. Right? Perfect. You can't have some statement or something here.
Then you're definitely great.
That's you are printing over this thing here. And you are doing it over the statement. So as you know, Chris pointed out, you can have a chain of decorators also. So the idea is that, okay, you can have one, yes, inner here. Oh yes. Two. Suppose I call this that. If I do this, suppose I wanted to do this, check this out. Yes, okay, that one takes on will work. Okay. Take that this one, take the other. Decorator one. Then we have deco one. Okay. Now if you do a count one equals to decorator.
Have to return the wrapper function.
Oh, yeah, we've done that. And then we must also
Return statement should no indentation problem there.
Yeah, it's okay. So it took this function and just a sec, I'll just run myself through it. This guy is working.
Wrapper should be passed over from
Yeah, I'm calling that.
So wrapper one should be
Which,
top second.
which one?
Wrapper arithmetic.
Oh. No, that will be there, that will be present because that is present in the function itself, right?
But underscore
So it's running with none type is not possible function. Decorator 1, I called decorator 1 with function 1, I returned wrapper 1. And that should work, right? Or shouldn't work.
no, that return statement
No.
doesn't have any indentation problem. The return should be under the indentation.
function. You don't have a
No, return should be inside the wrapper one, right?
Yeah,
No,
it should be
no,
inside, right?
No,
You should front this function.
no, not in.
Running the function.
It should be outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, then it doesn't, if it is outside, then it doesn't belong to the wrapper. Wrapper is basically it's like
Oh,
a
it's-
function,
Well,
right?
actually, I had some will mappings, maybe they might have messed up. So
Yeah, so
I'll
run
just-
this function.
cool, this works, right? Suppose you wanted a decorator over this decorator. I mean, suppose you wanted to do this decorator so 2, and you take this function. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Huh? Let me know when I'm going wrong. It's been a while. So if I have decorator 2,
This count about
yeah, I'll just do one. Oh, I found out what is occurring right now because, okay, I'll explain that later. If I have decorator 2, which is taking a wrapper So if you look at this, what is happening right now is you have decorator 1, you pass in a function, right? So it takes that function, it returns your wrapper, right? So that wrapper is another function that is being passed to another decorator, and that is taking another, that is running on another wrapper. So the idea is that you have deco 2, then there will be deco 1, then there will be function 1, then there will be, those things will be created. So if you look at it this way, it's sort of like a sandwich, right? You have your, in between you have your important function. Over that you have one layer of, a function doing pre-post. Over that you have another layer of function doing pre-post, right? So you had deco 2, then function was called, which is a wrapper function. Then deco 1 was called. Then that wrapper function called your main function, which meant inner. Then deco 2, deco 1. Now this same functionality, if we want to do it over this guys, over the decorator, we could have written decorator 1, decorator 2,
Underscore.
oh yeah, decorator underscore 1, 2, same stuff, right? So you're doing decorator chaining here. I mean, not necessarily you can, I mean the idea was that I used to look at it in this way itself. The reason I gave this talk was to show that decorators are just syntactic sugar through which you can pass a key and you can pass a function. I mean the keys can also be multiple, and using that you are being given a function reference. Using that you can do anything. You can do pre-post actions, you can register it, you can pass it along to another function, do stuff, right? So that's about it. Decorators are pretty cool though. Yeah?
Can you add some argument and show what?
Yeah, like you're making it all the more difficult for me.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me check if I have Wi-Fi connectivity. I'll give you a simpler example.
So let's take it later then.
I think we're running short of time.
You guys are okay. Say I'll do that. Okay. Let's take a cleaner example. Just 2.5. Okay, you want a decorator with an argument, right?
So one argument.
Yeah. One. Okay. Now if you want, say, decorator 1, and you are passing an argument this. Okay. So there is a function. The idea is that decorator 1 is a function. Function which is taking a key. It can be anything. I'm just putting it as name.
Actually, what I'm asking is different. That func1 should have some argument.
Okay. Understood. Okay, so in that case, this thing, let's go back to the previous example then. Say this thing is working, right? So if you are saying this is an argument, say argument. If you are doing plus argument, right? Then in your case, your wrapper should have that functionality because eventually your wrapper is going to be called, right? So if I just go star args here, star args here, star args here, and star args. Okay, take exactly one arg. Just where did I go?
You didn't pass an answer.
Oh yeah, I didn't pass. See, network change inside. So the idea is that normally in Python we have args and keyword args, right? So if you want to make it generic, keep it like this, right? So that's the idea. So that's about it. I mean, there is a very, I'll just give you a link. I have explained this in much more detail. I had written a blog post over it. Curiosity user cat@blogspot.com, and this links into a very cool Stack Overflow thread. Whereas this guy has explained, this thing has a huge, there is Stack Overflow thread, I think, wherein a person has explained decorators, meta classes, and iterators in like an entirely detailed manner. That thing has got like 3,000 nodes or something. Very cool. I'll link to that, so you can check it out there also. Okay. And then,
Can you do decorator parameters?
yeah, sure. Let's do that. Let's pull up. Okay. So you are having a test. Yeah. Let's have. I mean, let's do that logging thing that we are talking about, right? Come to there. So the idea is that suppose you want a decorator. Suppose you want to have, you want to record access when these functions are called. Suppose you want to log stuff, right? So if you have a log decorator, and this guy should do info logging, this guy should do debug level logging. Okay. So always look at this from the way I run it in my mind is look at it from bottom to top. Don't look at the decorator, function first. That confuses me. Log decorator. So the idea is that I'll pass a log level, right? And depending on the log level, I'll do stuff. So I'll do a just wrapper, and here what I'll do is I'll say if log level info log is okay, and then you call this guy will take your function, right? Now the idea is that say okay, actually this should be so this, if you look at this, then this should work, right? See what happens when we run this guy. Okay, info log, debug log. Just let's comment this guy out first. Right? So we had info log and it came here, right? And if we have this guy, the other guy, the idea is that you have debug log and it came here, right? So you passed an argument, and depending on that argument, you could have also done a, if it's a debug log, then you do a and then you follow. So in case of debug, you will get the function name also, and in case of info, this guy will not print its function name. It will just do simple stuff. Right? Now the weird part is that I am not even calling func1 and func2. I am just doing this. How come it's getting called, right? Because I didn't write it in the right way. The idea is that the way I run this in my mind is you have, whenever you are passing log decorator, when you are passing decorators with arguments, right? You are actually having like a sort of like a factory, decorator factory. And correct me if you guys know where I am getting wrong, just let me know.
You're not calling func1 and func2, but you're calling func inside the wrapper.
Yeah. So the func is the func that is called here, right?
You have to, I guess you have to do a return func, right? Not call func.
That's what I was saying. If you have decorators with arguments, right, what you are going to do? You have like, there is a decorator factory, right? And in that decorator factory, there are multiple decorators. And depending on the argument that is passed, you are giving out the right decorator. Okay, so let's work together, let's fix this. So the idea is that this is a decorator factory, and suppose this is your decorator 1. This is your first decorator. You are passing a function inside it, right? So the idea is that this guy is going to take, okay, this guy is going to take, I can get internet access, I can show you that example. I am not able to reconstruct it here.
No, Google guest.
Yeah, I just. Okay. Okay. I'll show you the example that I was trying to create. Actually, I was not able to recreate it cleanly here. Okay. Yeah, this is the one. I was trying to give you guys this example. Yeah, so you have the log decorator. I'll just use this. screen brightness.
Just increase the font size.
Yeah. Good enough? So what I was trying to tell you guys is that you have to look at this way, right? This is what you are trying to do. Right? Info, debug, and then you're calling those functions. Right? So in this case, if you look at it in this way, you have same stuff. You have a log decorator factory, right, which takes in a log level, and then in that, depending on the argument that you pass, you're giving out the right decorator. So if you look at it in this way, there is nesting here and then there is nesting here, right? So the idea is that you take the log level and then you assume as if you're working with simple decorators. Then you forget this top line and then just assume you're doing this. So you took a function and you had a wrapper and then you did stuff with it, right? That makes more sense, right? What I was going wrong here is I have two levels of nesting. So I was taking the log level, but I was not doing anything with it. So if you want to clean that up, we take the log level and then we have the decorator. But inside this decorator, we'll have a wrapper which does its work, right? So the idea is that we'll take wrapper.
Probably if you had an argument, you would have got it right.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the three level nesting, I have to refer to stuff when I'm working with that. So decorator wrapper. This guy is going to be a function, so does not take any arguments right now, right? So we'll just go print. We'll move this stuff here, right? I just put this box, and then from here we turn the wrapper. From here we turn because your keyword argument that you're passing to this guy is used to choose which decorator, right? So in this case, you chose this decorator, and in that the wrapper function that is used is being called. So if I call it right now, I don't see anything here, but if I call func1, see we see info log or 2, we see debug log. So the idea was that when I did log deco info, it went up, you got a log level, and then it returned the right decorator, right? It returned the decorator, and on that decorator a function was ran, right? So the series is log deco info that returns deco1. Deco1 is called with func1. Func1 is used and then it's returning a decorator wrapper.
Can you write it like so that it's easier? Let's say deco1 equals log of deco, and then grab that.
Okay.
That way, what you're saying, you can just shift it to deco.
Yeah. Show it directly, right? So the idea is this: we do log deco of info, right? Let's keep on printing stuff. So that will be easy. Function deco1. What did we get? Deco1 as we said, right? And in that, suppose I pass func1, right? What did we get? We got deco wrapper, and that guy, if I call, I got info now. I'm just doing a print instead of I. That's why it's doing the none thing. But this is the gist. That's what I meant, right? Right? So you take that function, pass the keyword, get a decorator. Pass the function, get the wrapper. Call the wrapper, you're done. That's all. Cool.